both legendary heroes from the Mage crew has finally been revealed. And the funny thing is, I was doing a video about some of the community and I'm going to showcase that, but TOHAR and Bertrand are coming. And I've got more news with crossover migration that's been announced too, and how you can prepare for these two heroes coming up very, very soon. Hello, yes, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, and we're here, obviously, in the Discord, just showcasing, as you can see, the main new heroes, right? The new heroes that are here, the TOHAR and the Bertrand, finally getting revealed on what they look like. But the cool thing is that I was making a video on, but this info did just get dropped, was actually the community efforts and figuring out who TOHAR is. And I just wanted to showcase that as well, because some of you guys did work this out, which is really cool. So if we go into my general Discord here, you can see one of the guys in here, John Trader, and obviously there's a few others that obviously guessed this correctly, could see in the main game, you can see one of these heroes, and this was a leaked picture potentially of the Tavarosi Mage hero, but I assumed this hero was going to be a Tavarosi, you know, like Hosk style guy, and it seems to be right. And supposedly it says his name is supposed to be TOHAR. And the way he's figuring this out is, again, by clicking on that story, you will get this nice little screenshot image here of basically a dwarf speaking to TOHAR, but he's a shaman, and he's a Tavarosi shaman, and the thing that connects all the dots was the Facebook post that does state that it has a fashion sense and an interesting one, and the fact that we say it here kind of collects it all together, and that obviously clarifies now with obviously this image. So we know TOHAR is a bull. He's a Hosk style guy. We're going to see when he comes into game. You can see he's got this kind of like red robe over here with like loads of gems and jewelry on, and his little shaman staff. And the cool thing with this image as well, which you want to take in before we go in any further with the other update coming, is the actual like Bertrand, right? We can see Bertrand here, what he's gonna look like. He has got a little stick here with a bit of meat on, but I was jokingly saying, imagine if he had, you know, like Harry Potter's wand. It was kind of a little joke on my end. But in the background, there's some animals, right? We can see a bear and a dragon. So these could be future war pets that might be coming into the game, as well as these heroes. So just pay attention just in case these guys do get announced. So what's the next announcement? And this is kind of the big one. It is on the Discord server here. But what we're going to do though, you did get this message as well in game. So you got a nice little in-game message here that's gone into your system mail. And as well at the bottom, if you do complete a little survey link, you will get 200 gems. So just fill it out. You know, even if you just want to say, you know, I don't really have anything, you know, to input, you know, any input that's relevant. Or if you do, just submit whatever you want and you're going to get 200 gems. But this is really big because this is basically speaking about, we're going to go more in depth about home kingdoms or home bases as they nickname them, or initial servers, and then cross-server migration, which is a massive one which everyone's been waiting to hear about in Call of Dragons. So let's see, because here in the first top area of this post is them basically talking about, in the aftermath of season resets, it's always challenging for a server to basically get its, you know, personality, because all the servers keep resetting and like you keep having to go back to like smaller numbers, and then obviously the migration period when you're trying to join different servers as well is only within that division. So it's kind of hard basically for a server itself to kind of create its own, you know, personality, which is kind of what they're trying to do here in this next area. So in response to these, you know, difficult times of like servers not really having an identity to themselves or like a home kingdom, they're introducing these 4 points, which is crazy. 1, initial servers will permanently retained, meaning they're always going to be there. And lords can choose to return to the initial server in any season. For lords who have already been through this season, we will add a server located in Tamaris as the initial server. So if you're wondering how this works, it actually works very similar to how Rise of Kingdoms seems to work. So you have your home kingdom, which is basically the first ever kingdom, which he is going to clarify on point 2 in a moment, and point 3 basically. Your season 1 map of Tamaris is going to be your home kingdom. And then when you go into season 2 or season 3, season 4, you basically teleport into a different map. But at any point, you can always teleport back to your home kingdom if you choose to, right? So that's one thing they're putting in. So I don't know if that means they'll be getting rid of the True Sun and obviously how the resurgence mechanics works and stuff like that. We'll soon see. But that's a new step in the direction, right? We've got home base kingdoms that we're going to be able to go in and out of, right? And this is where we're going to start seeing stuff in point 2 and 3 after the end of season 1. Season registration and matchmaking will be based on the initial server. So again, they're going to just matchmake it on, for example, server 64, server 63. So hopefully, maybe the matchmaking might be better. We'll soon see on that part. But 3 is here, where it says alliances will be affiliated with the initial server and will no longer disband at the end of the season. So basically what this means is you won't be like disbanding your 200 alliance. Instead, you should be moving basically back into the initial server until maybe the next season starts, or however, you know, it's going to work. So this is how I am interpreting it, again, you know, how it looks like. So basically, you know, any of the alliances in here. So again, if you're in server, for example, 1, all the TA alliances technically now can create a family in server 1, right? They can create TA 1, 2, and 3, for example. Or if you're in BDO in server 43, you can do it for the same thing, right? GG have it in 83. So you can have all these multiple alliances now, and at least those are all contributed into that server. So basically, if you go into, you know, one of the regions, you all basically should be going into that same region too. I'm assuming from the way this is read, right? But then the cool thing is a cross-server migration feature will be added, allowing you to choose the initial server that best suits you. So this is a big one, even for someone like me, because as you guys know, I am being looking for a new home, right? I don't want to be in server 1 anymore. I don't want to be a part of this alliance here. So I'm looking for, obviously, to migrate elsewhere. And now there's this new crossover migration coming. So in theory, I shouldn't have to, obviously, migrate into this division table here. I shouldn't have to pick only these divisions. I should be, in theory, able to pick anywhere that might be within the same season as me, right? So that means if I go into the settings menu, and or even just zoom out into the kingdoms list in here, any of these season 2 plus guys that we're in, so any of these servers, I in theory should be able to cross server migrate into. So then next season, I'm playing with those guys, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Obviously, I'm going to try it out myself so you guys can get the video and understand how that works, right? So massive, massive announcements. I did have plans, obviously, on making a cool conspiracy video on figuring out who TOHAR is from, obviously, the Discord, but plans change, you know, updates come out and new news comes out, which I want to obviously keep up to date now since we've got all of the footage and stuff out of the way. We're back on, you know, up to date terms. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. That's the 2 new legendary heroes, as well as obviously the server announcement, right? So I'm going to finish the video up on this little assumption of my own, and then obviously that's going to be the final part of the video. So basically, if you've made it all the way through to this part of the video, I'm going to actually talk about Bertrand and obviously TOHAR, because obviously they're both legendary heroes, meaning they're going to follow the same trend as like Goresh and Skogil, or even obviously your Freygar and Syndron. So one of them is going to be on the strongest lord, and one of them is obviously going to be in the lucky spin, right? So the way I've interpreted it so far, and this is just, again, assumptions, I don't know any information yet until it gets told to us, right? I actually believe TOHAR is going to be the strongest Lord hero. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because when you look at, you know, the information given about him, he's always known about his tactics and stuff, as well as his infinity to the ability of Earth. And Earth is normally known as like a defensive element and like a resistant based element. So I'm assuming this mage might be a garrison, or it could even be a rally based, you know, or a tanky based mage hero, meaning I think he will be on the strongest lord. While Bertrand being more of an illusionist and probably another, you know, big human based hero, I reckon is going to be like your Frey guy here, you know, or your schoolgirl, and he's going to be on your lucky spin wheel, right? But one thing I'm also going to assume, right, and then I'm not going to end it just there. I also think, like they've done in the past, there's going to be a Wheel of Destiny. So we're going to have to wait for that. But the way they've always done those Wheel of Destinies is you've normally got the last 2 heroes of the last season and the 2 new ones with that potential chance to unlock all 4, right? So what I believe will happen will be, you know, your first chance will be a Wheel of Destiny, which will have Schoolgirl and Goresh on it. But we'll also have TOHAR and Bertrand, and hopefully, you know, you might be looking and get your spins in that Wheel of Destiny, and you unlock maybe the strongest Lord hero once we figured out, obviously, who that one is, right? So that pretty much sums it up. You know, I've given you guys all the information. I don't want to go too much, and if you've enjoyed it, smash like, comment, and subscribe. You know what to do. In the description is my Discord link and any of my socials you want to support, and if you want to as well, I'm not gonna be a lie, if you hit the Linktree link, it will bring you to a nice little web page. It will show you there a Call of Dragons affiliate link. If you really want to support me for free, you can literally uninstall your PC client, click my link, and just download the game again. It'll be the exact same, but all you've done is downloaded it through me, and the Call of Dragons obviously team will see that, and obviously see that you guys support me and the game, which is amazing, right? So hope you guys have enjoyed it. You know what to do. Everything out. Stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out to the next video.